about helping you have a good, happy marriage and a good, happy family. We've been talking in other programs about the fact that you can really only change yourself. You cannot change your mate. I've been born with a certain kind of characteristics in their life and certain attitudes, and maybe there's some things you don't like. It's hard to change them, but you can change yourself. And if you start trying to do that and look at the positive things in your mate, instead of looking just at the negatives, think about how you can change and look at the positive for a while and see what a difference that will make.
You're right, Philden. After we've been married some time, we start getting negative about our mate and see some of the things that we really don't like. But if you think back, when you got married, when you fell in love with this person, or when you first started living together, there were so many things that you liked. There were so many things that drew you to that person. Well, what did you like about him or her? Think about those things. Maybe he was very sensitive and caring, but now you don't see that anymore. You only see, well, he's always taking care of other people, and he forgets about me. Think about the other things that you can see in his life that you still really value. Maybe he spends time with the children. Dwell on those things instead of the negative things.
Now, why did you want to marry this girl? What did you see in her that made you think, oh, I'd like to live with her the rest of my life? Now, think back to what it was that caused you to fall in love with her and try to renew those feelings again. It's so easy to get off on the negative and look just at the negative. There's a whole world of positive things there in your mate that you fell in love with from the beginning. Try to renew those and to think of those again.
Sit down and make a list of things that you really value about your mate. Maybe he's a hard worker. He has a good job, and he brings home enough money to support the family, and he's always taking care of. And he's a generous person. Think about things that you value. Maybe when he comes home, he's not so friendly. He's just quiet and withdrawn and wants to be by himself, maybe read the paper or watch TV, but then remember those good things about him. And if you build him up and tell him what you appreciate, you may be surprised that he may want to spend time with you more and do some more things with you.
Yes, and you husbands, you can also make a list. Think of your wife's good qualities. Write those down on the paper. Because if you just think of them in your head, you might not think of them well enough or good enough. But if you write them down, it will help you really think about those things and consider what it was that caused you to love her in the beginning.
And be sure to share that with each other. After you've written it down, tell your husband or tell your wife, this is what I really appreciate about you. Or, thank you so much for doing this, or being here for me, or helping the children with their homework today. Thank you for working every day and bringing money home. Or for a husband, thank you for cooking a delicious meal. When was the last time you told your wife thank you for something she did in the home? Try to say more positive things to one another, and that they'll just think they're better than other people. But you'll find it's just the opposite. If that was a good job, then they're going to want to try even harder to do that thing or to please you more. So don't think that's a mistake. Give them those words of encouragement.
Okay, are you getting the picture? Well, try it. See if it makes a difference in your family.
You have been listening to Path to a Happy Home, a production of African Institute of Marriage and Family, AIMF. Your speakers have been Philden and Janet Harrison, who have lived and worked in Africa since 1972. God has blessed them with a successful marriage and 5 children.
Since 1984, they have been teaching God's way to develop healthy marriages and strong families. They conduct marriage and family seminars throughout Africa. You may contact them by writing aimfradio@gmail.com or by visiting www.africanpathways.org.
You are listening to African Pathways, a production of World Christian Broadcasting.
Welcome to Ask the Doctor. We hope to enable parents in Africa to better help their children fight disease. Dr. Robert Whitaker practices medicine in Swaziland. He treats sick children almost every day. He sees many parents who do not know what to do when their child shows signs of sickness. Don't miss his advice. What should parents know about common childhood illnesses?
Really, the childhood are a very vital part of growing up. We won't look on it as a positive, negatively, oh, my child is sick, oh, my child. No, you would say, I'm happy my child is getting immunity to all of the common infections. And that way, you can manage the child yourself. The symptoms are, in fact, not the enemy at all. It's the diseases. And by God's mercy, most of these diseases are fairly limited and don't require much more than a little supportive treatment.
So symptoms are usually not the enemy. What is an example of a disease that is more serious?
Measles is one of them. And now the world community has got together and provided immunization against the more severe infections, mostly viral infections, which can be harmful to children. But still, not respiratory infections and infections that cause mouth ulcers. That's a common complaint. Mouth ulcers or mouth ulcers are caused by these viral infections. And again, we'll all settle down after a week and we'll clear away.
Is it a good idea to go to the chemist and get a medication to stop a symptom?
So going to the chemist is not to be encouraged.